This is the It's Time to Refresh podcast with Brad Refresh, the podcast about life, music, traveling, shit, literal shit that is, and weird and wacky stories with Brad, and a range of guests from the planet Earth. Feel free to share the pod with your pals, your mom, your neighbor's dog, or even your shrink. It's all fun. You can follow our Facebook group called It's Time to Refresh Community, or It's Time to Refresh on Instagram. Write into the pod, ask questions, and share your stories. Enjoy the pod.
Hey kid, what time is that?
It's time to refresh.
You all right? How we doing? Just want to take 2 minutes of your time before we start this week's podcast to tell you about our Patreon. Patreon is a tool that we're using to help the podcast grow, give you better content, and, well, as I said, just let the podcast grow. So we've got 3 tiers. The first tier, there's only 20 of these spaces available, and it's £1 for life, and that's for It's Time to Refresh Originals. So if you've tuned in from day one and you want to join the cause, you can sign up for £1. Just follow the link in the description. We've got the standard Patreon, which you get access to bonus episodes, some exclusive content, Patreon specials, which we'll be recording, and early access to all future episodes. So you'll be getting them on a Tuesday instead of a Friday, which I think is fucking amazing for £3. That's less than a coffee. And then we've got our legend status VIP Patreons, which is £10. And that gets you tickets to all my gigs, and it will get you free entry to any It's Time to Refresh associated events, gigs in the future. So that's a little hint of what's coming up in the future. If you do like the podcast, then please share it with your mates. We are trying to grow this little thing we've got going. We've got some amazing guests coming up in the future as well, and we want this to go bigger and better. So sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/It's Time to Refresh. Thank you. Enjoy the episode. Back once again for another episode. This is episode 30 of the It's Time to Refresh podcast. And on this episode, we've got DJ PALMER, local lad from Whitehaven. He's DJed for Bass Mental since what year did you join me? Was it 2015?
Something like that, yeah.
About 2015, 2016, something like that. Does a bit of bounce. You do a bit of house music as well. You did a bit of house music for a while. So yeah, as I say, thanks for everyone who shared the last video with FEZ. That was really appreciated. It got a good reach on that, and a lot of kind words and stuff like that. So yeah, how we doing, mate? All right,
yo.
Not too bad. You're the first Bass Mental guy to come on. Madness, really. I should have got you on earlier, but yeah. So just gonna go right back to the beginning with you, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So where did you discover music and that?
Discover music?
Yeah.
Oh. Music is in any music or music?
Yeah, anything. Just what caught your eye when it come to music? Like, what were you into?
Everything. Back in the day. I mean, I think you learn most of your early music through your mum and dad, don't you?
Yeah. So what was that then? I don't know what they like.
I won't go into that. Old stuff.
Good though.
Good for me.
Yeah. I know you're a bit of a pop punk fan as well, because we were talking about
class, isn't it, when you're drunk?
Yeah, no, just class in general. No, because what was it? I think did I have it on in the car or something like that? And you were like, oh, I can't remember. It was whatever reason you're like class this, like when you have it on in the gym and it's like, oh, class.
Yeah, I listen to old.
But yeah. So how did you discover it? Like you had a passion for music.
The passion for it started in was like bounce dance music or whatever.
Was it bounce? Yeah.
Yeah, like for the DJing side of things, obviously.
Yeah.
Started off like Clubland stuff, probably like Alex K stuff and that.
Was it?
Probably I was 16, so it'd be 2016.
What year?
2016.
No. What?
2016. 2006.
2006.
2006.
So, all right, no worries. So that was 2006. So yeah, it'd been like sort of Alex K, the Ultimate Energy sort of coming out.
Even macking it, innit?
That was big round here, like. It was really big at one point. You were probably part of that generation that was a little bit above me, where I remember locally everyone was part of some sort of fucking. If you were into your like MC and DJing and that, everyone had like little cliques of like. Can you remember? What was their names? Brent Adjan.
Maximise.
Maximise, and then there was.
That's who got me into it, Brent and Adam Grant.
Oh, was he? And then there was in Whitehaven there was Addiction.
That was Adam Grant.
Kingy and that, yeah. So that era, was that your sort of era getting into it?
Yeah.
That was when the donk was like
I
proper.
wasn't like involved in events and that.
Yeah.
Just used to mix in, well, my house at Adams.
Yeah.
In my mum's house at the time, in the loft.
So what is that? Is that how you got into DJing and that?
Through them too.
What was he mixing on?
Turntables, learnt on turntables, Citronics PD.
I know which one you're on about. Yeah.
Blue and black things.
Yeah. Everyone had them.
And some silver Newmark things. I can't think what they were
Right.
called.
And what was this bounce music like?
Anything.
Right.
Literally anything through learning.
What was it like in
Whatever
school?
Adam had really, because Adam had all the vinyl.
Ah,
Never really knew anyone in school into it.
yeah.
'Cause Adam was younger than me, Brent was older, Brent was in a different school.
He went to Whitehaven, didn't he?
Obviously it's after school, where I've got into it at 16-year-olds.
Like
basically
college
after school.
time.
Yeah.
So who was about at the time? Like who was locally? Who was the
Did I listen to local wise?
not like yeah? Who was the DJs locally? Was
Dubby
it
Donkers, like, wasn't
what in 2006, 2007?
he? Yeah.
Right. Well, so we began to like fusion or out like that.
Used to go fusion, but that was just for nights out. It wasn't for the sake of anything. Like, I'd never really got into the DJ until then, onwards.
So what type of tunes were you mixing? Like
all the old, like Alex K remixes of stuff.
whatever tune it was, like whatever vinyl it was, you just go straight to the Alex K sort of.
Oh, there's like your hypersonic was it?
Hypersonic, aye.
What else was on them all?
So were you associated with any sort of brand?
Not at all.
None at all.
Not till I packed in after. I wasn't doing it that long. I only done it for a couple of years. And that was just bedroom. I like at Adams, a couple of drinks, and then started again.
So were you going on nights out after this? So like when you were 18 and that, like were you going to any bounce?
Never went to many big events. It was like say, underage. I never even went to like them under 18s things.
No, did you know?
Weirdly.
Ah.
I think I would have, but I never. But I only started going out really when I was 18. Wasn't that interested.
So were you going to like just local nights out, or was it like bounce nights and that?
Local nights out. Never ever went to bounce events because I had a babby at 19-year-old, so never really got out of Whitehaven. Work it in. Used to go fusion and that was good.
So did you never go to any nights of fusion or not like that? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
No. Just turn up.
Just for local, like Saturday night sort of thing.
Didn't look into anything to see if anything was on. It was just, if there was something on, I'd have probably been, but I wouldn't even know I'd been to it.
Yeah. Can you imagine you've probably been to some top nights as well? You just don't even know.
Just get that drunk that I don't care.
Yeah. But, so, when did you get back into it?
For Northie, 8 years ago. That's what we know, 22.
2014.
14-ish, aye.
Right. So I heard of you in 2014 because Northie put you on for, was it Freedom Night?
Freedom sessions, yeah.
Right, and that was EDM music and that one, it like
That's what
big
I got
room
back,
and stuff.
That's what I got into when I first started back because of Northie.
So how did you get back up? Like, why did you get back into it? What was
It was
the...
on a night out. Cousin Keith, who'd done the doors, Keith Moore, he was on the door and he knew that I'd done it in the past and he'd done it himself, like just at home. He had some techniques. So he took me to see Northie in TJ's.
Right.
And then you know how clever Northie was with it all. He knew everything about everything. I had a crack with him about everything. And a little mix on his DDJ 1000.
Yeah. He always had the latest equipment,
Yeah, all the time.
Like, as soon as something came out, he'd, like, scrap the old one and then just...
Yeah. He had one of them at the time. So I had a little mix on that. Went alright, actually.
Yeah.
And then...
Why did you go for, like, the big room? Because I can remember seeing you on in TJ's when I'd come downstairs and you'd be playing, like, big room EDM type stuff.
That's what they played for their Freedom sessions.
Right, so is that how you got into that?
Freedom wasn't spelled like how you'd spell freedom.
Free EDM, isn't it? Yeah,
EDM.
Yeah.
So it was just an EDM event, and EDM back then actually worked very well, to be honest. It was always rammed.
Yeah. It was a big time because for that sort of era, because it got big in like 2012, and then by like 2014, I'm sure like Jack and that was doing stuff as well, wasn't he?
Jack used to do them. What's it called? Funky Sundays and that, didn't he?
Was that Jack doing Funky Sundays?
What was that? House
No,
night?
he done House Night, didn't he?
House Night, sorry. Yeah.
Funky Sundays was
Funky
through
Sunday
at Red House. That was Marco, I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought Jack was part of it. Probably just that people used to say Jack's on here, Jack's on there, to be honest.
Yeah. And then, so you got into doing that. Did you find you had a love for it again? And what?
Massively. Got right back into it. Went and bought. I literally got home and looked into buying decks. Well, not got home because I was drunk, but next day I looked into buying decks.
Yeah.
So bought the DDJ SR.
I don't know. I'm not technologically like...
SB's the small one.
Right.
And then you got the SR that's just slightly bigger, a little bit better.
What's
Probably
that?
better
Do you put a USB into it?
Nah, laptop powered.
Oh, right,
Like
okay.
your DDJ 1000s and after all laptop powered, aren't they?
I've never really liked the ones that are laptop powered because I've never had a good enough spec laptop to get it run smoothly. So
I only kept it myself about 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And I'd been back to see Northie a couple of times. And he'd bought the XDJ 1000s and he had a DJM 900.
I remember when he got them because he come in and showed me and he goes, if I remember rightly, he said, "You guys come and have a look at this. Look, no disc drive because he didn't have disc drives in them, did they? That's them ones, yeah." And I remember him saying to me. So at this time, you roughly, I think so. This must have been 2000 and back end of 2014, something like that, maybe 2015.
Yeah.
Keith come up to me on one of their basemental nights, and he was like, "Honestly, you want to get my cousin on here? He's a DJ and that." And to be honest with you,
it was in GL. Was he in GL3?
Nah, it was downstairs.
I was at one in GL3 that Keith was at, and you'd set up in there.
Oh nah, this was downstairs. You weren't there, and I was like, "Oh, who is he?" And he said, and I was like, "I don't recognise the name." And then he said, "Oh, he does this thing with Northie," and I was like, "Tell him to fire a demo over because." Do you know what I mean? Like I don't mind going off recommendation of people, but I'm not just going to put somebody on off. Oh yeah, my cousin can do it, and I'm like, I said, does he play like bounce? He says, I like his bounce music and that. I was like, so does he play it? I don't know. Like that's what he said.
I never did back then because it was just the EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with that to suit that event.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was only getting back into DJing as it was, so like it was always like bounce or like clublandy stuff. Back when I was younger, just whatever Adam had. And then when you're getting back into it through someone that's playing EDM, you tend to follow them.
Yeah. So you were doing these freedom events, right? But you were coming to base mental events as well, weren't you? Because I remember back you then, coming to one of them. At least? Because
the first one was it the 2 Russian lads?
Oh, so you came to that one, did you?
That was the first one I'd been to.
Right, so that was 2015 with the 2 Russians.
Yeah, so I'd probably been DJing.
Dunk Project. Right. Well, I can remember seeing you at one, and I was like, and then Keith said to me, "Oh, that's who I was telling you about," and I was like, "All right, yeah, no worries." So then I think I was talking to, I just made Todd resident at the time, and Todd was saying, "Oh, my mate Palmer's getting into it," and I was like, "Is it the same person he's on about?" And he says, "Yeah." And then I think you put a bounce mix up online or something like that, and Todd sent me. And I thought, oh well, he plays the stuff that sort of suits tonight. Like you'll play him vocally bits, I'm sure, on the mix.
Oh, I've just done that really.
Yeah, and then I thought I could put you on sort of like maybe first hour and see how it goes. And then I never talked to you or out like that. And then how did I meet you? Can you remember? I genuinely don't know.
I spoke to you once or twice on a night out. You were DJing TJs, I think. I think you gave me a little go as well. Can't mind how good I was because I was steaming as usual.
What, and did I let you on?
Yeah, you had them old CDJs, the 400, not the one have been 400s. What was it that you had? Little ones.
The 350s?
The 350s, yeah.
The one with the, like, hexagon platter thing?
Aye.
Yeah, I had them.
You had them.
Right. What, and I let you on?
Yeah, for a mix or two.
Fucking hell. I'm shocked at that. I'm not usually, because if I don't know who you are, I wouldn't let you on, but...
You maybe did know who I was from the name then.
Oh, okay, right, maybe that's
Keith
what
could
it
have been there.
was. Oh, maybe.
I can't remember, but years ago, I don't know how good I was because we were drunk. But.
And what? And then was I talking to you after that? I'm
I
sorry that I don't remember, but
I can't remember myself.
I can't remember the first time I talked to
I
you.
remember having a go then. Can't remember. We've about to have said something, haven't we? And then I've forgotten that as well.
And I think, and I messaged, yeah, I do know now. And then I messaged you saying, do you fancy coming on doing this? And it was like, and I asked you to play some sort of like warm up stuff. And then you came and done the warm up set, and then that's how that was downstairs.
That was a GL3 night where I'd done the warm up set because that Fiasco B was on.
Yeah, right. Was that the first one?
I think that was the first one.
Right. So Fiasco B. So that'd been 2016, and then that was alright night. That wasn't it?
That'll be about right then.
Yeah. So we'd moved upstairs to GL3, and then you started playing, and then we got Pally after that, didn't we? And then you
2016 onwards, really.
And then I think I was putting you on I think I put you on every other event or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember the dates exactly, but basically, 2 of the residents left, and there was a space open for you, and I just said I'll put Palmer on this one, and I was alternating between you and somebody else, because Brent and Darren left, and obviously going forward I needed somebody on, so I put you on, and then you started playing more of the bounce stuff, and I noticed that you were updating your collection because you were playing newer bits, and
it used to be older, didn't it, when I first started?
Yeah, so from there I think we just got mates and that. And what were you doing other than that? Was it just the base metal nights you were doing? Because I know you
base metal. I've never really tried to put myself out there ever.
Yeah,
I've done the odd mix for on SoundCloud, Mixcloud at first actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't try and put myself out as much as I probably should have.
Yeah. Well, I remember you invited me round to yours for a pre-party for Frequency.
Party.
What?
Was it the Frequency one?
Frequency night,
yeah.
So it was Frequency. There was John Neal, Finchy, Alex R, Master C, me, and Greenie on that night. And it was upstairs. It was a lockout, and I remember you said, "Well, come to mine beforehand," and then we had a mix and that. And then I went down, and then you was a lot met us in town. You came down with Todd and that.
Yeah, it was a bad idea, that pre-drinks.
Right. So then, when we were having a crack, down at the night, this is a fucking brilliant story to say. When you say, Todd said, "Oh, I've got a booking to go to Wigan to play for a open." Decks, not open decks.
Back to basics, wasn't it?
Yeah, what's it called? DJ competition.
Yeah, it was.
Back to basics for Kenty, and he said, "You fancy coming down?" And I thought, well, I think my missus was away at uni at the time, and I was just going to be fucking sitting pot around in the house. I said, "I go on then," and then I got Jagger, and then you came as well, and that mad ride down. That was a fucking mental night.
Jagger's fucking nuts, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be coming on one of these. I know a couple of listeners who are listening now be buzzing about that, but yeah, DJ Jagger, the man from fucking, he's the craziest motherfucker. He's dead quiet. He's dead quiet, but then all of a sudden he's just a crazy bastard. Lovely lad though, but just a bit fucking mental. Love him. But I remember I picked his up, and I proper gave you an education on the way down, didn't I? With the with the tunes, because I remember when I'm sure Todd was sitting in the front, and then Hughes lot was sitting in the back, and Jagger was fucking steaming when he got in the car.
Jagger was in the front, I think.
Oh, was he?
Todd was in the back.
He was.
Jagger was just dancing in his seat all the way
dancing all the way down, yeah. Well, I remember I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure fucking Todd was making notes of all the tunes I was showing you, because I was like, "Oh, you need to hear this tune, it's a banger," and then he's gone, and then I remember him messaging me afterwards, "Will you send us that mix with them tunes on top?" I was like, go on then. Yeah, but yeah, because
Tune Stealer.
Yeah, DJ Tune Stealer, remember that? Yeah. Todd Murphy, aka fucking DJ Tune
He
Stealer.
calls me now.
Yeah.
Pinch of
No,
him.
well, honestly, the cheeky bastard, right, used to nick tunes off me, and then you'd nick tunes off him. And it was like, oh my god, this is fucking frustrating. I'd try and break a tune, so like, oh, that's a Brad Refresh tune, that one. Fucking next minute, Todd's playing it. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do fuck all. But and then I came in one night, and then I think you were on first, and you were playing one of my signature tunes. And I was like, what the fuck? What's going on here? And then Todd goes, you stole it off me. I goes, you stole it off me? Fucking daft cunt.
Oh, we like pinching tunes.
No, honestly, I try and break an anthem, right? Try and make a little something. I've found, literally, I was talking to, so I've been doing some tunes with John G under the name Manic. So we talk back and forth every day about like ideas for tunes and that. And I sent him one today. I've discovered it. It's an absolute fucking belter. And it's like a couple of year old, and no one's noticed. Like no one's picked up on it. And honestly, it's gonna be. I'm claiming it as my signature tune. And I showed John it, and he was like, "That's class." Like it's not even like a known tune. It's more. It's got no words in it. It's just like I'm not going to tell you too much about it because you're gonna look for it. But basically, it's like it's a lass just ad-libbing all the way through, like fucking loud squeals and that. It's fucking class, and like big synth and that. And I was like, I'm gonna break. This is gonna be one of my tunes. I'm breaking this as a tune. It's fucking class. I'm gonna play it at the weekend, right? And I know for a fact it's one of them tunes. If I'd have played that up in GL3, right, Todd had been playing it the week after, and you'd have been playing it the week after that. Like I'm telling you, it's one of them tunes. It's that good. By the time this will be out on Friday, so I'm not even going to tell you because someone else will play it on Saturday night.
Can't say how, can you?
Yeah. So
I'll have it in a mix by tomorrow.
yeah, I honestly, and I can't believe no one's picked up on it. It's just one of them tunes. It's sort of like I heard it and I thought that's good. Why has no one picked it? And I listened to it on my phone as well. I was like, why has no one sort of picked up on that? It must be badly produced. Like there must be no low end or something in it, like or no bass. Like you can't hear the bass or the kick's not punchy. So then when I got in the car, I thought I'll stick it on and just double check. Cranked it up a bit, and it sounded fat. And I was like, why is no one else playing this tune? Because it's class. I'll tell you what it is on next week's episode because after I've played it once and I can claim it to be mine. I know DJs get quite territorial, don't they, about oh that's my tune or that's whatever my tune, but I'm saying this in joke, by the way. I don't care what tune anyone plays. Like if I was that bothered, I'd tell you and Todd not to play it. Like, but it doesn't bother me. But some people get quite territorial. Like you can't play that tune here because that's so and so's tune, and it just, honestly doesn't bother me. But I just have a bit of a laugh with it.
We always said you find hidden gems.
Yeah, I like to hunt. That's my thing. I'm one of these people who can be quite a bit of a dickhead. Like someone described it to me not so long ago. You can be quite a dickhead with it. Like you push music down people's throats, and it's like maybe they don't want you to push it down the throats, but I'm like, have this. This is a good tune. You should listen to this. And it might be quite annoying to some people, but fucking, I just want to. If I hear a good tune, I want other people to be like appreciate it like I appreciate it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like me and my core friends group, we listen to pop punk, and when I discover like a forgotten gem and I share it in the group, they're like, oh yeah, cool. And I'm like, no, you should listen to this right now. It's fucking class. Nah, just the way I am. But so we went down to Wigan, didn't we? And it was, considering the main room wasn't even open, was it? Because it was upstairs, wasn't it? No. It was up. There was two rooms. And it was the middle floor and the top floor, yeah. the attic. And we got and checked into Premier Inn and that. Oh, there's a grim story about that as well. That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was vile.
Yeah, right.
That was horrible.
We'll get to that. So then we went up to the club and that, and it just seemed it was a perfect thing because everyone was up. We were all up for it, and like, because sometimes you can go on a night out, and it's like, considering the main room wasn't open, it was a class night.
Yeah, it was
like,
good.
There's loads of DJs who are on that lineup now. Who were actually like they've actually broke through as like DJs, you know what I mean? Well, if I'll look back at it and I'll let you know. But fucking, I'm sure there's a couple of DJs that were on that night who's quite established names now. That was like 5 years ago. So obviously in 5 years there's a lot of growth there for people in there. So we got in and then Jagger went missing, and then
I went missing.
You went missing. So then I was just fucking having a good time, having a few beers and that, and then like I think you lot fucking disappeared, whatever, and then we stayed for a few sets. It was a good laugh and that, and then we were walking back down to the hotel. Me and Todd. Where the fuck are these lot at? They weren't. We thought you fucking had enough and you just went home.
I went. What did we go for? Was it me and Jagger that went?
No, you didn't go. You stayed. We just couldn't find you.
No, we went. No, me and someone went, and then I come back. No, it was me and Todd that went.
Oh, I walked back on my own then. Sorry, I must have walked back on my own.
Me and Todd went.
Yeah.
I think Todd went to take his headphones back, so I walked to the hotel with him.
Yeah.
Got there, and then Todd wasn't coming back.
That's what it was.
So I walked back on my own.
Yeah.
Looked right round for you and Jagger. Couldn't find you two anywhere. So
Yeah.
I think I ended up walking back to the hotel again.
But you stayed out though, because when I walked down on my own, you lot weren't back here, and whatever had happened, it was mental because it was starting to get light at that point when I went back, and then I just remember the morning after I woke up, right, and it was fucking disgusting. It was fuck me, like I woke up and I was like, what the fuck is that smell, right? Todd had took a fucking kebab, bought a kebab, doner kebab. I hate doner meat, by the way. So it was like I was balking. And he just left it out on the side, half eaten. He was fucking the sweaty beast. Like I'm not even. I'm sorry, Todd, if you're watching, but like it stunk. Like, and I remember going into the bathroom to get fresh air. I'd opened the door and it was just fucking And then I woke up because you were banging on the door. You walk through, and then Jagger came in still dancing away at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. He hadn't stopped all night. And then you came in, and honestly, I can just remember your face. He's just soured up. It was just fucking stinking.
Kebab and fat.
It was disgusting.
Ringing.
Absolutely vile. That was a good night, that. So like, did you put him for that competition? I don't know if you did.
Todd tells me to all the time, and he used to tag me and stuff all the time. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person that DJs that's not interested in trying to go further.
Put it out. But you just go for the night out more than anything, don't you?
Yeah.
Just for the crack.
That's half my trouble. I got kicked off the decks once, actually, for being too drunk. I was fucking useless.
Where at?
By Northie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He's in TJs. I think I'd done a set earlier, Sean. And he says, we're drinking tonight. And he fetched, like, rum down.
Yeah.
And fetched himself some diet lemonade. So the diet lemonade was just for him. He was on a diet. So he said, you can drink the rum. So you're going to have to go to the bar to buy your mixer. So get your mixer for nothing.
Yeah.
So I was like, no bother. So set off going to the bar to get the mixers, and then couldn't be bothered going to the bar anymore. So just drinking straight rum.
Oh, man.
Absolute steam. And he put us back on, say 11 o'clock. I could barely fucking see.
Class.
So I had to go. God knows what it was like. I don't even know. All I know is remember is my being kicked off because I was crap.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. But sort of moving forward from there. I can't remember what was on. I think I was on at Sank in Blackpool around that time as well. And if I remember rightly, you never came down to that, Jan, did you? Because it was Todd and Callie who came with me at that time.
No, I did go to Sank with Todd and Callie.
That was the one after. Because I remember now, that's what happened. So Todd came down and he was like, because the venue was class, to be fair. It was at Club Domain, quality venue. And he's like, we're going to come to the next Jan, like, definitely. And I wasn't on the next one. I was in Hong Kong at the time, actually. And I think you went down. A few years went down, didn't you? I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. But like, so you're going to bounce nights and that. Like, were you not eager to get on it out like that? Nah. We just there for a good time.
I like being on the dance floor.
Yeah. But yeah, sort of like going forward again. I was booking you for the basemental nights. We're in TJ's, couple in GL3. And then, what were you doing? I'm sure you had another event. You were doing another event, you know.
The other one that I did do was that I Love Trans, but that was Northie and Blackie in there. Northie,
right,
Blackie, Tony James. Tony James actually done the Freedom one with us.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a DJ.
Yeah.
Chris Lockie. I think How lucky day one, or was that for you?
That was for me. That was one of the first nights I had you
House of
on
Art done.
downstairs. Yeah. So yeah. And then obviously I invited you to my wedding, didn't I? And fucking, that was a mental night as well because like, I was a bit pissed off. So obviously we had fucking the wedding and all that, and then I'd specifically asked for a hog roast. That's like she's like, what we having for mains and that for the dinner for the day? I was like, honestly, I don't care. I'll get like I don't get like a hog roast sandwich type thing. I'll be happy. Sort of like for the evening thing. And then as it was coming in, we were meant to like walking in that, and then the photographer said, "Ah, no, you're not gonna go and get photos and shit like that." I says, "I go on then. We'll go and get the photos." And they opened up the hog roast, and by the time I got back, everyone had ate it all. Like I was proper in the mood. Like all night off. Like yeah, I didn't at my old fucking wedding. I didn't even get any hog roast. And then no, but I'm not joking. Like I'm getting bothered thinking about it now. I was just like, I've just fucking, oh my god, like
Paid a fortune and got no.
yeah, I've just paid for this fucking hog roast. I didn't even get a fucking taste of it. And my mum's going, here lad, the hog roast, it's quality. Go and get yourself, Jan. There's
I
not
can't
left.
mind it now you've said about it.
I was, I don't like, I'm not fussy. I like my food and that obviously, but like, I'm not fussed what we have for the main for the day. But I just fancied one of them sandwiches. Do you know what I mean?
Alexander.
And anyway, so
it was nice.
So yeah, so we were fucking sort of obviously do all the wedding shit and that, but at night we opened up the dance floor and that, and we had Maniac 2000 on,
Yeah, that was
because
class.
that was everyone got up.
Class.
And I turned around on the dance floor, and all I seen was a big fucking circle of people, and you doing the worm right across the dance floor. Honestly, it was mental.
I don't know one of your. It was the frequency night.
Was it? What you doing the worm and it bounce night?
Yeah, do it everywhere to go.
But honestly, for anyone listening, it's like it's actually really good. Like it's not a bad.
Do it a good kind.
Yeah,
everywhere you go. If I'm drunk, I'll do it. Doesn't matter.
Honestly, yeah. And then everyone was going like. I remember like my mum and that going, like, and my auntie's going, have you seen what he's doing over there? Turn around and you're just worming right across the dance floor, and the crowd of people were following you.
I do it everywhere I go. I don't need, the frequency night when I done it.
Yeah.
I bought new clothes, like new jeans, new t-shirt. My t-shirt was white.
Aye.
Well, typical nightclub dance floor.
Aye, he was rotten
Sticky,
up there, like.
rotten.
Yeah.
So I done the worm, stood up, a white t-shirt on the front. Was
All brown and that.
brown and black.
Oh.
It's fucking ringing. So Jagger gave us his jacket. I've still got that jacket today.
That was a good night, that wasn't it? That was we sold out. Literally, like, we weren't allowed any more people in the building. I remember Lewis was it Lewis that was on the door? Yeah, Lewis was on the door, and I was on the door there was me, Finchy, and Lewis controlling the door, and they were saying, like, we're not allowed any more people in, it's that busy, and I was like, wow.
I left early. Steaming.
Did
too
you?
Drunk, too drunk. Again.
Uh,
like you say about
the pre-party
drinks.
and that, yeah.
Pre-drinks.
But sort of coming up to the like the pandemic and that, I had we were talking before this. I had an event planned in 135. I still look at it now and think what a fucking mint lineup that was. But like that was going to be our next one, and then obviously the fucking Panny D hit us, and that wrote everything off. How was that for you? Like kind of pandemic, not because you weren't DJing, not really.
No, was I DJing before that or was it after? When was I doing the events in there? That's only recently, isn't it? So that was after.
When you started doing.
Was the events just before?
Because I know I got booked for 135 in 2019 for about 4 or 5 events, and it was like, were you on the night for Fitzy and Rossi B?
No, I started after all that.
Oh, did you? Right, okay.
Yeah, I started.
Was it?
Mine was more the cheese and
Yeah,
cheese
right.
was on a couple.
Yeah, so there was a Sopranos night.
No, I didn't do the sops ones themselves. There maybe was.
Oh, what was it? Cheese and Lukey P.
Cheese and Tazro was one of them.
Oh yeah,
cheese was up 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Well, and you were
now.
doing them. And then what about you did Andy Whitby?
Yeah, twice.
With Todd. And you done that.
See which ones I did do. Good Lord.
But how were they? All right.
Yeah, all good. I don't think we really had a bad one. Yeah, there was a cheese and Tazro one. Andy Whitby one. Andy Whitby's, isn't it? There was always goes off. Flipping filling keys.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Cheese Tazro.
I was well. That's the night.
Frequency. We had them on.
Yeah. I remember I was outside. I went to the fucking kebab shop I was on that night, and I said, "We'll go and get a fucking kebab, whatever." And I was in the car park, and I'm not sure if I remember this right, but it was Keys. There was Keys and
Flip and Phil.
yeah, Flip and Phil, and I'm sure it was Terry, the lad who works with Keys. I think he was there as well, and he's gone, "Hiya, pal. Do you know what that 135 is?" I says, "I just there, mate. I don't know what it is because obviously fucking it is a bit. If you don't know the town, it's a bit fucking."
Yeah.
Can be like GO3, where like that was out the way. No one knew where that was.
Yeah, knew how to get to that, did they?
Yeah. So I seen them out there. So I remember that night because I came in and I had a crack with Marco and Danny downstairs, and they was mentioning to me about getting to do like a Chubby Tunes event then. So it was sort of in the planning since then. That's why I ended up doing one. They sort of said about it, and obviously I was getting booked for the sanctuaries in there, and I was thinking, you know, we could maybe work in here, but obviously I need to think of a new idea of make it different everywhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you were doing them events, and then were you planning for because you started organising events after that, didn't you?
We organised one with Dave Reeves at
Right.
Central. That's the only one.
Is it? Oh, were you playing for him as well, though, weren't you, before that?
Done a residency with him in the Central Regiment. Bounce music some weekends and then just like disco stuff other weekends.
Aye.
Mixture of all sorts. But he was right into his bounce.
So what was the concept behind the one you booked me for then? Like, because, like, big plans for that. Like, when you think about it, like, outdoors and that, like, I've always...
Gamble, like.
The what?
It was a gamble being outside because you didn't know what the weather's going to do.
That's what I've always thought. So, someone said to me back in 2017, I got approached by somebody who said, basically, you've got this thing for the council where I can host events. I've got a music license till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Or 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Would you be interested in doing something? And basically, like, sort of, we'll fund it, but we want you to run the tent. They were going to do like a marquee type thing, just like not a big festival or out. They just wanted an outdoor event, and I was like, yeah. So what was the crack? And then they were saying, oh well, we want to do it right, but we want to do it in December. And I was like, nah, not a chance. They were wanting to do. Their idea was they were going to do Winter Wonderland type thing. Do you know what I mean? So they were going to capitalise on Christmas.
So the title works.
Yeah, I know, but if it was pissing down, imagine what I know it's kind of stupid saying it, but like it could ruin your reputation. Like if you put a night on and you fucking cause all this damage to all these speakers and shit like that. I know it's all inside, but like, and people come and they're fucking complaining about it's freezing cold and it's wet and.
Wouldn't you be raving in?
Yeah. So I remembered the date of when it was. I can't remember what it is now. And then basically, I thought, I'll see what it's like on the day, just to see if I would have been proved right. And I'm not joking, it absolutely fucking hoofed it down. And it wasn't freezing temperatures, but it was cold. Like, people would have complained. So that I kind of won like that. But yeah, when I seen you, because you asked me, you messaged me saying I'm doing an outdoors thing, and I was like, I know it was in July, was that right?
July, I think.
Aye.
I think so.
And you said it's in July, and I was like, good on you for doing it. Like, because obviously, Stankfest in the Lakes had been a thing as well. And the first year it was on, it was like dead good. And the second year it like rained halfway through the day, and it can be a sort of vibe killer. Do you know what I mean? Like, it didn't kill the vibe for me. I'm still loving it. Like,
I was as well. I think I went during the last set. I think we headed back to Whitehaven during the last set. In fact, we got to lift a few, didn't we? So
yeah. Aye, that the year I was on main stage. I was on main stage, and then right, okay, I see.
Yeah, I think we got lift back with you, so that's why I went, because there was only about half an hour left anyway.
Yeah.
So,
and then
worth staying for the taxi.
Aye, it was a good night, good night. And I liked the after parties at the Wigan. They were quality. I've talked about these on the podcast before, but it was a good thing we had for the local area. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were good then.
Yeah, like we got some good stuff on locally in the past. We haven't really, not that we haven't appreciated it, but I think like the wider audience of Whitehaven haven't appreciated it. Like that frequency night, that was unreal. And then them sanctuaries up in GL3 quality.
Yeah.
Sanctuaries in 32. They were good as well. I like them.
I only went to one of them.
You came to what was that one I was booked for in? Do you remember the one that was below Soup? Me, you, Jagger,
Yeah.
Todd
Was
and
that
Callie
Below
went.
Soup, yeah.
Can you remember that?
I can mind going to it.
That was alright. That I can't remember that what
Was
event
that not Donkers event? Was that not one?
could have been. Can't remember. But yeah. What was I going to say? So you organised this event. What was the idea like? What was the thing behind it?
It was more Dave's idea than mine. We both sort of come up with it together. I'd not long been doing the Central.
Right.
I don't think I'd really been out in the back. And he asked him how big his beer garden was. He said it was fucking huge.
It's a big area, like, yeah.
It's massive. For a beer garden, it's massive.
Yeah.
So we went out and had a look. I said, you should set up an outdoor event out here.
Did you not need to get licenses or out like that?
Don't know. But we didn't.
See, even shit like that bothers me. Like, I'd be like fucking dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, dead.
We were just paranoid.
Wary. Do you know what I mean?
What we were going to, like, cause obviously you sort of line up out. And we're like,
Yeah.
we hope it doesn't rain. Because then we're going to pay for these people that we can't afford.
Yeah, but and then as well, this is one thing I wanted to ask you. Like, no offense to Dave or out like that. But the central agreement for the lineup you had on, it's a big lineup for a pub event. Like, I've ran pub events myself, so I'm nothing
more
against
Dave than me as well.
No, well, do you know what I mean though? Like, I ran one in Egremont as well in the Cat. Did you come to that one?
Yeah, I wasn't there long, but
That was a good night. That
yeah, I went to it.
But it was a pub event, so I knew I'm going to get X amount through the door, and I can't get any more. Do you know what I mean? So I know if I charge a £5 or a £10 a ticket,
Yeah,
it's
pays for your lineup.
yeah, pays for the lineup and that. So I was thinking I physically can't put a big headline on. And then when you sent me the flyer for the event, I was like, fucking hell, that's a big lineup for a pub. That like
Massive, wasn't it? Really?
yeah.
For a boozer.
So who was it on? So Francesca was doing, like, that's a big name in itself. Like, I think that,
Francesca, Bounce Assassins.
yeah, Bounce Assassins were on.
But,
Ben Rushing was
Ben
on.
Rushing MCing.
Yeah.
Me, you, Todd. Alan and Ben was meant to be on, and Hardy, but they couldn't make it. Alan had COVID, and
Yeah, but even still, that
Hardy.
lineup for a pub's pretty solid. That like,
yeah.
was that like, was it just
had
gonna?
thing as well. Mine's gone blank.
Who was he?
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at those little buggers.
Oh, Jeff Scott.
Jeff Scott and Rossi
Yeah.
Dodson.
Yeah, I had a crack with him while I was there. Never met the lad before, and it seems like a really nice guy to be fair.
Stuff he knows is like silly. It's like everything to do with like setting up speakers and all that. Like,
Yeah.
he knows everything.
That's good.
I think that's what he does for a living. I'm not sure what like. But
Yeah. As I say, it'd be handy if you've got an outdoor event on it. Like, do you know what I mean? So, how did that go for you? Because obviously, I only done. Did I do the opening set, or I think I done the opening set?
You
didn't I?
did open actually for us, aye?
Yeah.
It was you, then Todd, then me. If
Right.
I remember rightly.
Right. So how did it go like for the rest of the night? Obviously, there was
It wasn't the busiest. I think we sort of like broke even, which, like you say, because of the lineup size, it wasn't that bad.
yeah.
But also, like you say, Hardy and Alan couldn't make it on the day. It's like, otherwise we'd probably have lost out.
Yeah.
Because we'd have to pay them as well. Obviously we didn't because they cancelled.
Did it put you off putting another one on?
Dave shut in the central anyway. Well, the brewery's selling it, so I couldn't do another there anyways.
Yeah.
And right now, I wouldn't plan another.
Yeah. Understandable.
But
So
it wouldn't put us off, but it wouldn't go that silly again.
yeah, that was a big lineup for a pub. Like you'd be lucky to break even. I think like.
Yeah, we were looking to break even.
But yeah. So what like sort of going forward now? Like what's your plans? Are you putting any mixes out like that out? Or-
Turn back to mixing. Bedroom again. Packed everything in. We'll do events. Keep my headphones and my USBs.
Yeah.
Doing events. If anyone wanted to book us, stick to the bounce. Play a bit of house events as well.
Yeah.
And just stick to doing that. Go back to bedroom DJing for a bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind getting into producing, to be honest, but I'll look more into that after Christmas, I think.
Yeah, you should. We did 2 tunes together as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was another thing as well. So we did Bring the Bass Back, which was signed to what is he called? Scott Rez's label, Twok Records.
Yeah.
And that done alright. That it was a rip off of
That fucking
EDM tune, innit?
the
Coffin song,
Astronomia.
Yeah. And then we did the Lost Control. That I still play that now. Like it's not even that old really. It's only a couple of years old, but I play that now and it still goes off like class.
You messaged me with it, didn't you? You messaged me, sent me the track over, and all through it I said heavy, didn't I?
Well, you wanted like a sigh type drop.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. So you sent me and said no heavier, and you said no bother. In about 5 minutes, you sent me it back. I was like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I just because when I started doing the side like drop thing for you, it just for me it was like it just didn't like as good as they are when you hear other producers do it. Like it's got to be right here. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah, no, but it's got to be right though as well. Yeah. Like do you know what I mean? Like I'm quite picky with stuff like that because it's so basic, because it is literally just a kick and a drum roll with like some like maybe screeches and shots and shit like that, but like there's no melodic elements, so it needs to be solid.
Turned out alright, to be honest. I've used it a few times.
I play it probably at least 50% of my gigs, and it always works because it's that drop out of nowhere, and even the melody in it's like really good. So
that's what I like about it, the drop out of nowhere. You don't expect it.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of we're gonna go like move like sort of going forward now. You're just gonna be a bedroom DJ. Is that what it is?
For now.
Right.
But, like I said, I've done discos and everything, didn't have for money.
Yeah.
And they're just absolutely. I was never saying no. So it could be some weekends. Well, I've done the residency in Egremont Central, so that was every Friday, and then getting like parties Saturday, Sundays, like christenings and stuff, and like out all weekend. We've got kids at home.
Yeah.
And I'd never say no to gigs unless I was already booked.
Right.
Just getting greedy. So it fucked us really.
Yeah, I would best like. I think you made the best decision, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's like for me, I've got a rule. I've said it on the podcast before as well. My rule is I don't do more than 2 events a month. It'd have to be something
That's
really special. So, like, it's not 2 like weekends a month. I don't do that. It's 2 events. So if I get booked a Friday, like one weekend, and then a Saturday, like 2 weekends after that, that's fair enough. Or let's say there's 2 absolute belter events, and it's one's on the Friday, one's on the Saturday. That's it for the month. It's not that I restrict myself, but I just don't want to waste my time. Like out as you know where we work at, like it's long hours. It's you get obviously time for see your kids and shit like that, and actually have a life. I don't want to be traveling up and down the country, sort of, or even going local. Like I don't want to be going local every Saturday night, because I got offered a residency not so long ago in town, and I'd love to do it. I would, because I love the idea of playing all different types of music, and like getting to play music I wouldn't necessarily get to play usually at raves and that. But I can't dedicate every Saturday to doing that. Nah,
that's why I've stopped. I'd rather do what you do. Travel up and down the country. So like, you're buzzing because you're on the way to a gig. So you're excited for it. And then you've got your hour there, still buzzing. And then on the way back, you're buzzing for the turnout. Whereas a residency, you've just got a lot of drunk people doing your fucking head in.
That's the thing. No, I know what you mean though. Like, it's a different type of DJ, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've had residencies in the past, and it's been good. But at my point in my life now, I don't think it would be for me.
I wouldn't go back to it.
Like, because back when I had a residency, I could go out and DJ on the Saturday night, and I didn't have kids. My missus was either here with me or at uni, and we'd just lie in on the Sunday, like, and just fucking do fuck all, maybe get a takeaway. Yeah. But it's not like that anymore. Eh? If you've got a kid screaming down your ear at 7:30 in the morning, or you've got plans to do things as well. Like, for me, I'd like to think I'm quite proactive. See me, I try and do at least an hour a day producing music. This is if you want like insight into me. I produce at least an hour a day in music. I do the podcast, wherever that podcast may be. I know I'm in my house now, but like I do them everywhere. I've literally travelled all over for it, and the thing is that takes time, and then you've got the editing of it. I spend probably editing the podcast roughly 6 to 8 hours a week, because I've got to chop it up, I've got to do all the edits and put all the animation and stuff like that on. So like time is precious, and especially if I work like, as you say, like it'd be about 60 hours a week at the minute. So fitting it all in, as much as I'd love a residency, it just doesn't suit my life.
My work shift was just brilliant. It's just changed now. I was on COVID shift from 6 in the morning till dinner time.
Classic.
Without a bait, but we're in SEP.
Yeah.
So like, by the time you got all your walking time and waiting for the permit and that was great. So I was home at dinner time every day.
Class.
Going to sleep in there.
Class. Not bad. But no, it is one of them. Once you've got other things on the go, like people don't realise that you can't go out every Saturday night and do it. Like I have to plan. So for this weekend coming up, I'm going to try and get a podcast in. I've got to try and fit that in, and I've got my gig as well. I've got my set time. I don't know if I can say it on here because I don't know if it's going to be announced or not. But I'm on 5 a.m. till 6 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So that's a graveyard. That's literally the last hour. And then I've got the drive back up here, and it's like by the time you get all that done, fucking you haven't got much time left in your weekend. You know what I mean? So that's why that's a simple reason. You've got to remember, like you know me as a person. Like I love all this. I love the music. I love everything about it. Like you said before we started recording, it's like I like to be heavily involved in it and doing stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm the opposite.
I know. But like, and I don't think anything will take the passion away from me, because I do these podcasts. I don't need to do them, but I choose to do them.
Yeah.
And it's I'm not like bigging myself up, but this is nothing like that at all. But for me, like I like the involvement of doing it and having the crack. We like get to have a crack with you. Like when was the last time we got to sit and have a crack? It's been a while. Because I know COVID played a big part of it, but like, this stuff doesn't happen. We've all got our lives at home with, as you say, with kids and everything. So that's why I like to do this. You get to have a crack with people, catch up, or even if some podcasts that I've done, I've only met the person for the first time, and it's like you get to know them on a personal level, and then that's it, isn't it? That's the way it is.
I wouldn't even know what to ask anyone.
No, I don't ask questions. I ask questions obviously, but we just have a crack, don't we? So we're going to go straight on to part 2, if that's all right. And these are questions that people have wrote in. If you want to write in any questions for the podcast, it's at It's Time to Refresh on Instagram, and we're on Facebook as well. It's Time to Refresh, and it's a community group. So if you want to ask questions, just drop me a message of what it is. We've got a few to get through, as I say. Just get on to us. So first, Johnny, is hiya pal. What's your favourite Pia CD from back in the day? Mine is Wigan Pia 54 with Static Bounce. Kick it off. And that's from R&B. So what's your favourite Pia CD?
I wouldn't even know. I've listened to a few, but I wouldn't know which one was which.
We into the Pia CDs.
Yeah. Listened to probably most of them, but remembering and
see, I'm
have a clue.
I'm quite good with numbers and shit like that.
I'm awful.
I don't know why. I'm just like I like everything with dates and stuff like that. I'm usually kind of spot on. Like I remember like when tunes were released and like just like little things like that. So I can sort of picture every single volume, to be honest. There's a few belters out there though. I liked like 28, 33.
33 gets mentioned a lot, doesn't he?
Does he?
I think so. I think it's Wigan Pia 33 that gets mentioned a lot.
It's a good one actually. One of the underrated ones, and I think it's only because it was the dying days of the Pia and that it doesn't get the recognition it deserves. There was a Wigan Pia 63. There's Back to the Old Pia mix on there, and it's literally all the classics, and it's fucking banging. Like if you're listening to this now, when you're finished, go and check it out. It's so good.
I'd have to listen to them back myself.
It's just a classics mix essentially, like a Wigan Pia classics mix, but like it proper captured what all the other ones were about. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like loads of BCD on there. There's like I think there's even that remix of like John Lennon Imagine on there. That's a fucking banging tune that. Yeah, quality. And there's what was the other one that I liked? There was another later one. I think it was Wigan Pier 66, possibly, or 65, CD2. DJ Nemesis was on it, right?
What is it?
And it's him doing like bounce stuff, and he plays some absolute class tunes that I've never really heard anyone play, and he finishes a Wigan Pier mix with a Makina track. Like it's like kind of like 170 or something like that to finish, and it's like very different.
He has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, class.
But
But
I'd have to listen to them back.
so is there none that stick out in your head, sort of thing?
None at all.
Yeah.
None at all. It's like not many years since I've actually listened to one.
Yeah,
I can't even remember when I last listened to
Were
one.
you into any sort of volumed CDs or out like that? Like, were you into Zones or Cricketer or out like that?
Yeah. I think no. Blackout ones, listen to all them.
I like
They used to come about.
Blackouts. Whoa.
But don't ask which ones because I wouldn't know. I don't
Can
know
you remember
what
any CDs in particular that had like certain MCs on?
No, used to like Arky back in the day, to be honest. It was that fucking rhyme he made. One about walking home.
Class.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
There was one of them tunes that went viral, I'm sure. Amenity. Can you remember that?
Is that what with him over?
Yeah, and he does that
Is that
rhyme.
with that rhyme on?
And the tune's gone at like 160 BPM.
And it's still on YouTube now.
Yeah, and it's fucking, yeah.
It'll be that. That'll be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. I did editing and mastering of the Last Adrenaline CD. They won't mind me saying, I don't think. But and it was Mad Macker, and it was Duffy, MDMC, and Arky on it. And they sent the thing over, and it's like 100 mile an hour straight away, and I was like, fucking wow. Like it felt like I was listening back to it, and I was obviously, as I was editing it, I was thinking, wow, this sounds like it did when I first got into Arky, like the 2006 Arky sort of thing. It was like it sounded like old school. He even had like some of the flows that he did back in the day as well. And
I probably actually listened to back in the day just as much Mackinac as I did Bounce.
which favourite Mackinac tune then?
Favourite Mackinac tune? Paradise.
Which one's that one?
Speed Limit.
Oh, I think I know what that is. Yeah. Do you know what mine is? And you've seen me play it as well. I sometimes finish bounce sets with it. Is it Maui? Feel Me Tonight?
Oh yeah.
That's a class tune, that.
Yeah,
Like cheesy as fuck, like,
Yeah.
but it's class.
I know it's
I probably get stick for liking that because it's like not many people like because of how cheesy it is.
that's one that I was never a huge fan of. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I was never a huge fan of it. But Speed Limit Paradise, that was mine. I still listen to it now. It's on one of the Downforce that Nana Mackinac done.
Yeah.
Can't mind which one, 2 or 3.
So are you into like what's your ultimate bounce tune then? If you had to have one,
I don't have one.
do you
It's
know?
like mixture of stuff.
Is it one of my signature tunes by any chance?
What?
One of my signature tunes by any chance?
No, I wouldn't even. I couldn't even choose. You'd have to go old, wouldn't you? But
Doesn't need to be.
I'd have to rack my brains for something. The modern stuff, it's a lot of just remix stuff, isn't it? So
Yeah, it needs to be freshened up a bit. I said that like a couple of times, to be honest. Like I said, I was talking to John, and I was like, we need to bring back some of this like melodic stuff, but keep it original. You don't want to hammer another remix of fucking, I don't know, Summer Is Magic, or do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
just like
that's
it gets a bit monotonous. I think it does. Like, I can't remember like the last time I've heard a remix of a tune. I'm saying remixes. I've heard a couple of originals I've got excited about, but I can't remember hearing a remix of, say, I don't know, Pump Up the Jam. I know it sounds like it's a bit out there, but like, say, I've never heard a remix of that and gone, fucking hell, that's class. That, like, I need that tune. It's just like, oh, another remix. Like, it's uninteresting.
I've got a track where I always think of a remix. Beach Ball.
Oh, like, yeah,
I can't
it's
stand
just
it.
boring.
I can't stand it.
Boring. Like, and nothing against Beach Ball or like that. I think it's a decent
would be if it got left alone.
Yeah.
There's only one track I've actually liked what's been remixed, really. That was John Nails.
Oh, the beach ball edit of You and I.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
Lovely. Right, next question. I mean, this is what people write in, and I know it's a music podcast, but people just write in it's on the Instagram page. That's what it is. Brad, with Christmas just around the corner, all I need to know is festive bake, yes or no, and that's from Matty O. Matto.
Festive bake.
Yeah, so I've ate them before, and I think they're all right. But
What's in it?
it's like chicken and it's turkey. Sorry, it's turkey
Cranberry
and cream
and
sauce, but with cranberry. Yeah.
Big no then. Don't
Nah.
like cranberry.
Honestly, I can take it or leave it. Festive bakes. I remember when they first came out, I tried it, and I thought it tastes. I know it sounds stupid. I thought it tastes like old people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the smell of old
The
people.
smell of the house and now when you're
Yeah,
walking.
that's what I thought. But then I had another yarn like a couple of months or not, the year later, and it got a little bit better. I think they might have changed it. But yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm going to say no.
But it's like a take it or leave it thing. But I mean, if you put one in front of me, I'm not gonna say no to it. Do you know what I mean?
I would.
Yeah, and to just tie it up for today, I asked everyone this, and well, you're going to get the electric chair because you fucking, I don't know, you've been a bellend, right? And you get one more meal before you get it, so just to sort of sign you off, do you know what I mean? Yeah. What's your one more meal? You can have a starter, main, dessert. You can have a main. You can just have a starter if you want.
One more meal.
You're a bit of a foodie, aren't you? You like fucking.
Yeah, we're plain and simple food. I'd just go all out with a pizza, me. Happily have a pizza.
What would you have?
What kind of pizza? Oh, it depends on the day. Some days you just want to.
Right, I'm about to
Greasy
fucking lock
pepperoni.
into that chair and like fucking do it. What
Right
you having?
now.
Yeah, what you having?
Meat feast.
Jeffrey Dahmer style.
Fucking right.
So
Meat
meat feaster. Right, you having a pudding it out?
That depends on the day. It just depends where you go, doesn't it?
Right, I'm going to tie you to the chair right now, right? And you're
I
going to
went-
get the chair.
I went to Toby Carvery with Larfella at Wigan, and he had his ice cream, and I had hot chocolate brownie and it's got to have pouring cream though, not fuck ice cream. Pouring
Nice.
cream.
Hot chocolate brownie is only good when the chocolate's melted the way.
Right, it was warm. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
dead warm.
Have you ever had it where it's there and it's like it's not fucking melted properly? It's like it's half-assed and it's like take that back.
Yeah, this was red hot.
Class,
Boiling.
class. And then the cold pouring cream on top just to
Yeah.
fucking. And then when you mix it together, it's lovely. I'm feeling about dessert now. Just before you came, I had a pizza.
Starter wise,
Go on.
you used to enjoy going Caspian, working,
Right, I like that.
and they used to do a half rack of ribs, barbecue ribs, and the fucking
Have I had that?
best rack of ribs I've ever had in my
I
life.
don't think I've had that. You know, I used to like going there.
Class.
I used to like going there and getting the what was it, the chicken parmesan. You had that
Yeah, the
with the
Palmer.
thing on top.
I've had one of them before.
But they don't. No one else around here does it that like that. It's fucking quality. Shame that closed out because I quite like that spot. They used to do like risotto and that as well. I'm fucking getting hungry again. It's fucking 9:30 at night.
I've just had dinner as well.
Right, just want to say cheers for coming on, pal. We're
No
going to
problem.
close this up now. Is there anything you want to plug? Where have you got SoundCloud now, haven't you?
SoundCloud, yeah.
DJ Palmer on SoundCloud. Is that right?
Yeah. Palmer 1712 maybe. With Facebook, SoundCloud.
You do
Instagram.
nothing in the way of pushing yourself, do you?
Nothing at all.
Palmer 1712. Don't even give
I
yourself
don't
a
even
proper
remember
DJ.
it. It's probably that long since I put a mix on it.
Yeah.
Like, where's it at? I feel Lord. Like,
I'll leave the link below his name on the tag
because I don't give a shit.
Honestly. But yeah, just want to say thanks for coming on. If you enjoyed the podcast, then share it with your mates. As I say, it's getting bigger and better every single week. I'm always getting messages or friend requests of people saying that they've discovered the podcast and it's amazing. If it wasn't for people sharing it, then people won't have heard it. Like I got a really nice message off some lad. I can't find it right now. 2 seconds. And it was a message request that he gave me online. I wasn't friends with him or not like that. For some reason, he didn't add me. He just followed me on my page.
Yeah.
But he messaged saying that like it got him through his day and that, and I thought like it was quite nice that like because knowing I've done the podcast and I've sat here and talked shit to you for an hour or talk shit to somebody else for an hour.
Keep someone else busy.
It's kept somebody else's mind occupied, and I was really grateful for it. It was just the perspective he put it in where he said like you don't realise how much it helps and shit like that. So there's that aspect of it as well. So yeah, if you share it, it's kindly appreciated. Thanks for coming on, Palmer.
You know,
See you later.
Ta-ra.